Great. I'll introduce myself first before we begin with the day. So, name you already know, I'm Kirti Khurana. So, I'm coming from Delhi. Into this educational field I've been for last 12 years almost. So, that's how, and I'm from core English background. I've completed my MPhil in English and about to complete my PhD too in June. In 12 years of experience, I have been a teacher throughout, teaching English of course, and simultaneously I have worked as a junior school in charge with Sachdeva in Rohini, and also headed as academic coordinator. I worked with GD Goenka, that's again Rohini branch. And like almost 1.5 years back, I shifted to Exceed. Once I joined Exceed, I thought my career begins now. So whatever I have done throughout 12 years, I was just a conventional teacher. I was a teacher. With Exceed, I believe I have become more of a facilitator. I've been teaching and teaching. I was a very good teacher, but never thought whether learning is hard enough, at least for me. Not because I'm working with Exceed, so I have to say all that and I have like wrote and I know craft and speaking. But truly my personal experience. I'm not at all maths person. But with Exceed, so many mathematical concepts have brushed up. They have got clear. When we sit in the classes, we see the teachers teaching through Exceed way, so many concepts get clear. I also. So that's how it works. And hopefully through the entire day we go through a process where you'll come to know how Exceed works in the classrooms. Exceed believes in learning. So learning at any point of time. To begin with, that's all about me. A short introduction of you people also, and then we'll start. Yeah, you can say anything.
I'm Gunjan. I take the classes 9 and 10 and 11. Myself, Jyoti Chawla. I'm taking 7th and 8th English. Myself, Payal Suri. I'm taking class 4 and 6. I'm a co-teacher of I'm taking classes 9 and 10.
Myself, Vinod Kumar Pujari, taking classes 6 to 8.
Social science. Social science, right?
I'm taking class 9 and 7.
Myself, Sunil Kumar, I'm taking classes 8, 9.
Maths.
I'm Suki Metroid, taking class 6 and 7.
I'm taking class 7, 8, 9 maths.
Myself, Chandra, and I'm taking Avishka Science.
Science too.
Yes, I'm having 6, 7, and 9.
Hi, I'm Preeti and I'm taking English and Science for class 7.
Rare combination. Generally, just English and social science.
She is our chief coordinator, Mr. Desh Singh. He is Mr. Desh Seva. He takes accountancy 11th and 12th.
So, before we begin, there is a short exercise of grabbing attention. You know, when you hear that 8 to 4 is the session, so it is assumed that attention would be distracting, will be making you don't feel like getting into sometimes. So, what we have to do, we have to follow the procedure of grabbing attention. So, whenever I feel that there is a little distraction and I want your attention at that point of time, we follow this exercise. I will clap, you listen to the clap, then you will clap, and that means we all have to be attentive, right? So can we try it out? So first I will clap, you listen, and then you will repeat after. Great. That means attention is required. So before we begin, I'll share the agenda with you that what all we'll be doing throughout the day, and then whatever questions till now. So you have heard a lot, Exceed, gone through the books, seen the books, so there must be some questions in the mind, burning questions. And what next are we going to do? So you'll share your questions, and as we'll go on throughout the day, you'll only give me the answers. So I won't answer any of the questions, but yes, those questions will remain here throughout the day, and as soon as we get an answer, we'll take that we have got an answer. So the agenda for today, we'll begin with knowing why exceed. What exactly is exceed? What are 5 A's of exceed? What is blue scale? And our academic yearbook. These are the 5 components that we'll be covering throughout the day. So, we have 2 short breaks. One will be after these 2 agenda. When we have completed these 2, we have a short break, short tea break. And then after these 2, we have a short break. Right? So, we begin with why exceed. Then what exactly exceed is? What are the 5 ways on which exceed works? Blue scale is a very major component of exceed, and then how to plan your year with exceed curriculum, how to go about it. Right? So let's begin with the questions. One question from every, at least one question. You want to give it a thought for 2 minutes?
See, the initial thing which we feel, what we have gone through the books, the application workbook which has to be picked up in the class,
Yeah.
and the practice questions which go as homework, the level of difficulty is, there is a lot of gap between that. Means the classwork questions which are given, they are easy. But the homework questions, the level of difficulty is quite higher than what they have done in the class.
So this you are saying after seeing the workbook as well as the content.
Yeah, content book, application workbooks, and our teacher's curriculum manual.
Laminate questions for classwork and homework.
Right.
You find a gap.
Yes.
Like this, the level of the questions in the workbook and the content book, there's a lot of difference. Almost the same, because we are into maths and we discuss majorly the same things. They need a lot of practice also, especially the word problems. Where in classroom hardly 1 or 2 questions are there. In the home, like the home book, workbook which they are going to deal with, in the content book, there's a lot of questions. Not even similar to the ones which we are going to take in the class.
Okay.
As far as the grammar portion is concerned, the books do not follow the order of parts of speech that we use. And a few topics what we've observed that when it's very elaborated, how they there. It's not there. The description, explanation of the content.
What I understand is that grammar is not in sequence, right? And content is in
And content and the explanation content, where it is required, it is not sufficient. Specifically grammar. Yes.
So I take it as grammar is less,
Yes.
right? Yes.
Ma'am, actually the individual differences are there, and we are not having the same set of the students in the class. The level of each and every child is different. So we are giving the exercises for the students without the help of the teachers. will each and every child be able to solve the exercise without the help of the teacher? That is the main concern.
Make it as level of students, difference in level of students.
Just a little query now. Exceed believes in giving homework to a child. Every subject, like child give homework, like whatever, the practice questions and everything for each subject. And won't you think it will be, the child will be overloaded with the homework?
And how do you get that? Exceed believes in giving homework.
Yeah, exactly. When we had a workshop with Sunita ma'am, she told that these we give homework daily to the children which they have to practice.
Yes.
Actually, there are certain, in each level we have some, in a strand we have a block and some partitions in that. But actually when we divide it according to the month wise, certain topics, I think according to the standings we have to complete. I think we will not be able to complete it within that time. Because there are particular timings that we have to finish it within a week only. There are certain blocks which we have got many partitions in that.
Okay.
So I try to
Many
keep-
partitions like?
Like if they have in block 1, 2, 3, and sometimes they have 6. And then after that, the last one, subtopics. And the last one we have to just, we have to finish it.
Okay.
We cannot just.
So what I understand is that all blocks have different partitions you mean to say.
yeah.
And where did you get that from?
I just went through this books, no, that's it.
Is it content book that you went through?
All the books.
All the books. Okay. So you say blocks have
Some blocks, not all. Some of them.
maybe some blocks have different plans maybe?
Huh.
Okay. Yeah.
Different activities are also given and the projects are also given. So we have to means all the things are to be done in the class, and we are having Avishkar Science Center also here. So means we have to means group the activities actually that which are to be done over there and which are to be done in class.
So what is the question? You find things a lot?
No,
There are a lot of things to do?
Maybe that is according to the syllabus the teacher will have to manage.
What is your question?
Ma'am, means just the activities are there, so we have to means grouping of activities.
Okay. The problem is the activities because you have a science center
Yeah.
also and Exceed also says a lot of activities. How are you going to do like
Yeah.
all the activities, right? ठीक है. I take it as especially as science, right? Who's it?
It is grammar.
Grammar. It's grammar. English teachers will always stick to grammar. I myself from English background, I should say.
From our side, it is only time management because children are of all the levels. What we have gone through, it's not very difficult. The things what we are doing, it's okay. And it is all what we are already doing that in this book. So only the thing is that how to cope up with the activities and time management, we need to know that.
A very genuine question actually.
It is applicable, I think, for all the
For everybody. For everybody, of course. So the entire group talks about time management. Grammar, yours is also maths.
No, I have one.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
What I have gone through, not all the books, a fair amount of different subjects. I do understand, you formulated, you began this whole thing in the rural area before, before you came to the urban area. It is very well planned. I love the 5As and everything. The only place where I have not had many of the topics, especially grammar and mathematics, you do not have enough worksheets or practice sheets for the children. This, when I compare with what we have been doing, it is really very crisp and touching the point and going away. So that's something you will have to incorporate now beyond the books. Probably supply us more worksheet, or we shall be using our own worksheets. But here, if we start using our own worksheets and you don't supply, so we have two parallel syllabi going, which I really do not want. So you'll have to really think about that. Am I right to know? Yes, ma'am.
What about that? Some of the topics are not very
Some are touch and go. Some topics are touch and go.
like in grammar. Ma'am, we are just giving an overview of the topics, but we are not going into depth. And actually, we are not able to understand.
And we've been following BBC, which is so extensive. So they are used to a lot of worksheets. And here we have actually given a very step sisterly treatment to grammar. It is just touch and go. No, you can't. We can't teach grammar like this, because even in mathematics, I found. I was quite alarmed when I saw the books, after meeting y'all, and when I saw the books, I think the books have been actually done in haste. I could go even to the primary level, It's quite a confusing set of books, when I go deeper into it. So that we have to, I will be writing down to, exit people. I think you all have to really revamp the book in a large way.
Even ma'am, in writing section,
Very less.
like we give it to the sparkling minds in the form of fill in the blanks, like in formal letter.
That is how it is given
It
there.
is already given.
Yes. You know what we are doing with our special children? That kind of worksheet is there. What we are doing with our regular children is far more extensive than what you're giving us. So I'm a little worried about the standard of my school going down. So that is what I'm very apprehensive now.
Ma'am, even in maths, sorry to interrupt you, the content is same as the NCERT, but where we need to put in the due weightage, that is missing. Like a chapter of linear equations. Word problems is something which is, very scary for a child. Word problems have become very apprehensive. So if we see our classwork, S1, S2, S3, it has one word problem in 3 and done with. But when we give them as a homework, we have got the categories. That these are the questions based on age, these are the questions based on coins, interchanging the digits. It is not there. When they get it as a homework, one question of each type is there. A child would not be able to solve it because he doesn't know. It has got a specific way of doing it.
Like
That was the thing.
less worksheet and less practice.
That was the thing which I was saying. Classwork and homework.
It's like touch and go.
We'll have to take up the practice questions also in the class. Give them a, entire thing in the class. And then maybe a worksheet we can give as a homework. Because the stress.
We'll discuss about it.
Yes.
Basics are there, but
The rest of the topics in English writing section haven't been covered in class. So it will be new when they come to class 9.
that's why I think
That way, there are so many topics that have been there, management there, and they are not at all, we are not even touching them in class 8.
So many topics. That's what
only the basics are there.
Just make a list of those topics and then we'll do it together with the kids and then go to the business. Anything else?
This is a lot. This is a lot. Because
Still, if there is anything in the mind that can come here.
basically I am very worried. Very frankly, because it's just touch and go, It may be working, the whole concept is very beautiful, but you have to design two kinds of book, Yes, you have to. You won't work very well in a.
And next time we stick to class 2 and 3.
And when that the work which can be completed in 15 minutes, that is divided into 90 minutes and 120 minutes.
Like the chapters which are very small
Yeah.
and can be discussed in very short has been divided into 5 blocks.
Okay.
And some of the topics that need more explanation, more time and stress.
Yes.
The stress on the topics is not, relevant at
As
points.
to the level
Like
of
in
the
class 8, divisibility rules will never tell them. We expect that they know the divisibility test of 2, 3, 4, 5, everything. It has been given as a one block, 6 days. With children will, and there is a linear equation which is again one block, which needs at least 3 weeks to do. At least 3 weeks to do. So that this content is as per NCRT, but the weightage wherein we need to put in due, that distribution is not up to the
How many
mark.
students are there in the class otherwise on an average? 40
35, 40.
I just wanted to know one thing. Have you got more worksheets which you provide to ex-school, or is it just universal? Till now, have you been providing any more worksheets?
No, we are not now. In case schools want, they can create their own. But yes, they can follow the same pattern. We'll discuss how worksheets are designed. They can follow the same pattern, but we don't provide extra worksheets other than these books. Great. So that's okay. All the apprehensions, whatever is there, we'll discuss it and try to address. Wherever we stuck, we can talk mutually and see what else can be done. As ma'am shared, that you people are doing far more than what is prescribed in the books and the workbooks. Let's talk mutually, find out where are the gaps, and we work mutually. No issues at all. So before we begin, go to these questions and try to figure out the answers of these questions. Now, these are all apprehensions, burning questions. On the contrary, when you hear exceed, is there anything that comes to your mind that what exceed is going to do once you have to follow this? Let's forget about the apprehensions for some time. Yeah. What comes to your mind when you hear the word exceed? It can be anything. It's not only about pattern, books, or what is missing, what is there. Anything that comes when you first heard this word, exceed.
A new way of teaching the same concepts which we have been doing till now. Maybe in a different way or a different approach.
A different approach. Exceeded our former way of
Beyond books?
Time management.
It's the same thing.
Here is not so.
Two-way approach.
Two-way approach. Yeah.
Systematic approach.
Learning through activities.
Learning by doing. Learning by activities.
This has been put in a lesson plan, like a lesson plan, learning plan. They're systemized in the learning plan.
Hot scribble. Hot scribble. Hot scribble. Okay. So now with so many apprehensions also, what made you think this? What made you think that it is something beyond books, a lot of activities, systematic?
Then sister, when we have gone through these books, we come to know that these are the things, being something different from others has been included in that.
Comparison of books maybe,
Yeah, definitely.
like what have we been doing through with the books we have
From
been
the
teaching?
traditional way of teaching the books what were there, now it has been changed, the pattern has been changed.
Right. So the pattern has been changed from the traditional to something different, a new approach is there.
Eventually they are settled with the system. They're okay with it. But yes, that initial which is there.
Anything else that they talk about?
Seem to be satisfied with what they're following via Exceed. Improvement is what they're talking about.
Improvement is what? Improvement in terms of moving from chalk and talk to something hands-on. So that's what they talk about. So that's how it happens. Initial questions, initial pitches, initial reluctance is always there. Of course, one very particular line that was spoken in the audio video also, and which we also believe in, coming out of our comfort zone. Nobody has it. So what we are settled with, we are doing it. We have been doing all this. There's nothing new in it. It's always all the schools stop. But then the apprehension that why grammar is not there, why so many questions are not there, why we are not making children write, what is happening in homework, how will children do. It's again our hit, because we are in the process of making them do in the class, asking them to copy from the board, maybe guiding them, holding their hand on each and every step, because we are comfortable with that, we know we'll get it done in the class. So something different is going to happen now. How will the children do is the question. Have we ever made them do something on their own independently? Is what we have to think about. Right? So that's perfectly alright if you have all these questions, including math. So I'm perfectly alright with that, because this is how always the Exceed program begins in any school. Believe me, I'm in 28 schools and I go to 28 schools. First year is always like, and it's not only today that in training you have these questions. For coming 3 to 4 months, you will be like this only. कि नहीं हो रहा, कैसे होगा? But believe me, once you start believing in what you are doing, it's for the benefit of students. I have been a very good teacher throughout my life, but now I have to be a good facilitator. I have to see learning happening in my class, not only teaching. So that's what we believe in. Let's see. I hope you get into it, and next year ma'am is talking. Interestingly, I really loved what ma'am has written. I have to give a new mindset. Yes. What you need to give is rub the slate. What is written here?
Only time management.
Yeah. So that's what, a new mindset.
No, we were told that when you come for this workshop, come with a blank
Yeah.
thing so that you are receptive to what Exceed wants to say.
Right.
You know, we had an initial discussion with Sunita ma'am a few days back. So same apprehensions I discussed with her. I was there, Manam was there, and same things we were saying that ma'am, lot of changes because see basically we are following NCERT in middle school. So the curriculum is the same, but the approach is
Different.
so she said that day you come with a blank setup that you just have to receive. So we are a little conditioned to that thing that yes, it's more into a receiving mode.
And then it has to work mutually. It's not only about me coming or Sunita coming and training. You all are experienced teachers. You all are trained. It's just that we have to bring a new revolution.
But bend around the same
Actually,
thing.
ma'am, that experience is only the hurdle.
That's what. I love it when you say I really
That is right,
your mindset. Experience is the hurdle.
Because we
And
have
how
been
open we are, to take up new challenges. And it's proved. The schools we go to, wherever freshers are there, it's easier
to
to them. And whenever people with 20 years of experience said, we also have a hard time with them. No, they are the hard nuts to crack actually. So of course, and there are people, we have seen experienced teachers who are with open mindset, ready to take it, ready to try out techniques. See, until and unless we do anything, we'll not come to know what are the pros and cons of anything. So at least for now, if we can just try and do, all apprehensions we'll discuss, and these are really genuine apprehensions. It's everywhere because we have been learned and teaching like this only. We are used to this method. So why not grammar everywhere? Why not mathematical practice questions where we as a student used to do 100 questions as practice and teachers used to be after the life to practice. So what is the difference that we talk about? So before we get to the questions, a little bit about us for your understanding. That of course the mission of the company is renew education in India. From moving from the traditional method, the conventional method to a new approach. Systematic or not, that you people have to decide. But yes, new approach that actually focuses on learning, the clarity that should be with the students. Exceed is a part of I Discover I Education. Earlier it just used to be a training company that was known for its training teachers. Right now also we have those Eureka camps where teachers are called and with this approach only they have been trained how to go about in the classroom. But like trainings were held, it was like almost 3 to 4 days training and everybody was like very positive, enjoyed activities. The teachers were full of enthusiasm that yes, now in the classroom we do this, we do that. And then Ashish Rajwal, who is the CEO of the company, decided to visit few of the schools where the trainings happened. Maybe after 2 to 3 months of training. So when he went with the team, found out that everything that was done in those 3 days has vanished. Again, the similar talk and talk method. The teachers are the same, the classrooms are the same. So those 3 days maybe worked for a week, 10 days, but then everything vanished. That was the time a decision of Exceed was taken, wherein we train the teachers but also provide with the support material. So it was not that Exceed, I decided to publish books and then started coming in the schools with the books that we have these books and now we tell your teachers how to teach. It was not like that. It began with training and then this is the support material that is provided. So that's how the company Exceed came into picture with the company. This coming session, we have reached to almost 1800 plus schools. We're teaching 8 lakh children through Exceed and around 80,000 teachers that span India and few in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, schools like that. Curriculum and training are the competencies of the company and there are people who are sitting from 300 plus people from top institutions who are researching over it. The content team, it's all research-based curriculum. Curriculum, of course, NCERT mapped, NCF 2005 guidelines, but how to do those concepts is all all researches that the content team does. The main head office is in Gurgaon, otherwise it's all parent. So that's about the company. Now we will actually talk about what is Exceed. So Exceed has different curriculum planning for different levels. Different for early program, then 1 to 5 and then 6 to 8. So here we all are from grade 6 to 8. So how does it go about? What is Exceed? You all, I can see all of you having the sets with you, right? So if we can just pick up one matching set and try to go through those sets and minute observations, what exactly you have seen there, different from your books, just note it down somewhere. So prepare a matching set. Can you prepare a matching set? What do we mean by matching set? How many books are there? Let's prepare a matching set. Matching set means a content book which is green in color, curriculum manual which is blue in color, and a workbook that is red in color. So how many workbooks are there? Three workbooks. And curriculum manuals?
As of now, 2.
As of now 2, otherwise they'll be 3. And content book? 1. So how do you match them? Can you just think? 3 workbooks and 3 curriculum manuals. How do we match them? What do you observe? How do you
Outside it is written, which all topics are there.
Yes.
Volume 1 and volume 2.
Yes. Volume 1, 2 and 3 is mentioned. And if you look at the cover, even the chapter names are mentioned, which will be same on the curriculum manual and worksheet. And content book will have all the chapters.
We don't have social science, only have one each. We don't have any modules. One module only and which has.
You will have 3.
That is history, civics, geography. That way you can have.
That way, yeah.
SST is that way. We don't have to pick content book. We don't have to pick worksheets because the apprehensions come from there only. So first we have to see what I have to do in the class. So this is the first book to be picked before planning your lesson. Then comes the worksheet and the last is the content. Right? So what I am teaching, whether my children are applying it, whether it is related in the workbook or not, and then what is to be done in the content. Right? So this is how you have to pick our books. You have understood how volumes are related, chapters are related. Now if we can open the block map, which is there in the workbook as well as the content. This is the block map. You can open it in the content book or the workbook, wherever you click on. How many blocks are there?
30.
And how many lesson plans are there in each block?
6.
6 lesson plans. So every block has same number of lesson plans. There are 6 lesson plans in each block. So how will you find the lesson plans now? You have seen there are 30 blocks. Where would the lesson plans be? In the blue book. Open the blue book table of contents. Page 2. Here, you'll find the block name. Like here, block 1 says character style. What is next? Block commentary, which will be talking about what is there in the block for the teacher. Block resources, where you come to know what your resources will be required when you have to go in the classroom. And block assessment report. Right? And then are the lesson plans. So LP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. If you look at all the blocks will have the same order. So there are 6 lesson plans for each. So now you have 6 lesson plans. Can you see any difference in those lesson plans? Just looking at the names. Try and connect it with the block name.
Subtopic.
Again you see the block name. Block commentary again. This is for parents. So that they come to know for the entire block, for the entire week, what my child will be doing. Block assessment report, again for parents. It will be marked there after every block, that where my child is, what my child is doing in the class. And then worksheets. How many worksheets are there? 3. So I think ma'am was confused in this, that this is different blocks have different lesson plans. So these are worksheets, these are lesson plans. Now 6 lesson plans and only 3 worksheets. I think you people shared that there is a lot of things to be done in 6 days for a topic. Why is it required? I think we can get the answer here. So if there are 3 worksheets and 6 lesson plans, let's look at what is the difference. So for your subject, open lesson plan 1 of block number 1. So whatever your block name is, as per your subject, your lesson plan 1 will be a subtopic of that plan. Is it the same? Yes. Let's see lesson plan number 2. Is it again a subtopic? Yeah. Lesson plan number 3. Again a subtopic. And these 3 lesson plans are also matching with the worksheet. So we have worksheet for these 3 lesson plans. Now we come to lesson plan number 4. Can we see a difference here? Yeah, we don't have a worksheet of lesson plan number 4, right? So what is the difference in this lesson plan?
We review whatever has been done in the previous 3 days.
So we have
Means we have more difficult questions.
Yes.
There are doubts, there are problems coming.
So if you can read about the hard part written there. In the lesson plan, if we see, recap, the hard part and focus. So whatever we have done in 3 days, we have completed a chapter in 3 days. It's not taking 6 days. Right? First clarity is that. We have covered the chapter in 3 days. My 4th day says the hard part and the focus and the recapitulation. And there are questions also given. We'll go through the lesson plan later. But the focus is this. Let's come to lesson plan number 5. What is lesson plan number 5?
Application.
application based. That means everywhere on the lesson plan 5 you will see a word practice.
We have that additional questions in it.
Additional questions, additional practice. I want to give more to my children. I don't trust exceed people. They have given very less things. So I want more to do in the class. That's the flexibility as a teacher I have. I mean, you can't have everything cooked in your platter. You have to show your creativity. Whereas the practice questions are also given. Suggested questions are also given here. But then if I want to do more with my children, I have that leverage to do. Right? So lesson plan 5 is all about practice, more of notebook work, more of questions, more of worksheets, whatever I want to do in the class. And day 6 is assessment, formative assessment. Right? So formative assessment again talks about review. Then we have a block assessment and also a challenge question. Right? And block assessment is given in the end of the block. What questions can you take in the block assessment? You can use the same. I mean, they are all ready. Just get a print out, photocopy it. You can do it or write it on the board. You can plan your own questions also.
Ma'am, actually I am having one question.
Yeah.
Revision questions are given at the end of each and every block. Right?
That does
Is
not
there-
pertain to that chapter.
Is there any connection with the chapter of these revision questions?
No, no.
No, I know.
Ma'am, the review questions which are there in the content book, they do not match with the chapter. They are related to the other chapters which they have done earlier.
Now, this chapter is related to, I think, mensuration, this question.
See, so these are the additional questions. These are the practice questions that will talk about the chapter. Right? Once the chapter is over, this is what children are supposed to practice. These are the additional questions. If I have more time, I can do more practice in the class. Revision questions are the questions whatever I have done till now.
It relates to the
Not
chapter.
connected to that.
It is not connected to this particular block. It is
Block even
related to
that
the topic.
chapter.
Yeah. So why this? Let's also come to this. That's why I said that first we will pick up this. So I will explain this only.
There is no connection of field
Sir,
objects with the
We'll
national.
talk about this first and then I'll come to this.
That is fine, ma'am. I can understand whatever you have written there in that booklet, that is fine. But what is the role of these revision questions which are not connected to
That's
this
what I am
topic?
saying, sir. Let's go one by one. Right now we are talking about this book, then we come to workbook, then we come to content book. What all is there? Then only it will be easy to understand.
Actually,
for us.
frankly telling you, we picked it up, green, then red, then
That's why.
So the first thing we picked up was the content book.
And it's very gentle. It happens.
Because we first wanted to see what all is there in the book. Then we picked up the workbook.
It is like every time as a teacher, I have been learning like that and I have been teaching like that. I teach from the content book. So I will pick up that only. When we were doing B.Ed or whenever we are teaching, we make our lesson plans. All of us do. So how do we make our lesson plans?
Based on the content.
From the content book. So of course we pick up this only every time. So we are in the habit of doing that. Yesterday also I was in a school, like I was, for the last 1 week I was in Nepal, I was school there. So continuously my numbers are not reachable there. So continuously I was getting mails from a school in Delhi, New Era if you have heard of. So that we have to do academic planning, nothing is matching, what is happening. So I just asked the principal, ma'am, please, whatever books you have opened, put them again in the box and put a seal till I come. Because it really gets difficult. You don't know what is to be done, what is the new approach, and we start, with the content book and all the apprehensions then come. All the resistance come from here only. And nothing is matching, nothing is happening. What will we do? So that's what the problem is. So that's why I'm saying we'll go one by one. We'll come to content book also. But let's talk about this. Let's finish off with this. We move to next thing. So 5th day and 6th day is a block assessment. So this is how 6 days are planned. So there was a question especially from maths group, that there are some concepts that need more time, right? So there are some concepts like you said, divisibility rules can be done in 1 day or maybe 2 days. But linear equations, we need more time. So core teaching plans are 3, right? If today I am teaching this divisibility of rules and I feel in my 3 plans things are okay. I don't need to do this hard part with the students because they are clear with it. I don't want to do more of practice questions. So I get those 3 days with me. So then as a teacher, maybe I can take a decision that yes, I will just give 3 days there, but to linear equations, I can use these 3 days here. I'll do more work here. So that flexibility is there. Right? That flexibility is there. So we don't have to say that, okay, Exceed has come as a dictator and now Sunita will come and dictate, yes, follow this, follow this, follow this. No, this is just a support. We are support to you. Believing in learning happening in the class. If as a teacher you have made learning happening in 3 days, who else will be more happy than us? That you don't need to spend 6 days. And maybe as a teacher you have decided, no, this concept I am going to give 9 days. So I have those 3 extra days, I can give it here. So when you do your academic planning, which will be the last of our today's session, we'll plan accordingly. Right? So this is how 6 lesson plans in each block. Clear? 3 core teaching plans. 3 days, yes, I am teaching and making learning happening in my class. 4th day, I am doing revision with my class. 5th day, more practice. And 6th day, assessing. Again for assessment, if there is not a concept of weekly assessment in schools, it is advisable to take weekly assessment. It's easy for children also and you also to know that whether you need to again take up that topic or not. But in case you don't feel like, you can go for fortnightly block assessment. You can merge 2 blocks assessment together and conduct it on one day. That can also happen. Right? So block assessment questions are given. You can pick and choose or create your own questions and take the block assessment. Any questions? Start 2 questions. Any questions? Great. So little clarity.
I think we were bombarding more questions to you than other faculty.
And that's what I said. No, when talking to maths group, I also get little conscious.
No, actually, during our first session, when Ms. Sunita took that first session of ours, she was very particular that these S1, S2, S3 you have to follow as a home task, as a classwork, and these content book questions as a homework.
Yeah.
That we were not able to digest,
Never mind. Advisable is to do the worksheets in the class for the initial
But
phase.
few of the concepts we can take during our practice session and all that.
That is only for the benefit of students.
Of course. We have to think that.
Maybe unless and until we give them one curriculum to solve those similar type of questions, then only they can do 5 more questions based on that.
So I think blocks are clear now. 30 blocks. 4th lesson plan is hard part, focus. So 3 core teaching plans. 4 talks about clearing the doubt of the children, hard part. 5th lesson plan talks about practicing more in the class. And then assessments, formative assessments. Now if we look at the workbooks. Workbooks, there are 3 questions. English can be a little different, but moreover, there are always 3 questions that are given in the workbook. So if you read those questions, first will be knowledge and understanding based. Second is application based. And third is reasoning, high order thinking skills. Right? So that's why if we say that if it is done in the class, children get the taste of each type of questions, and then in additional practice questions and practice questions, you can give the similar kind of questions for homework. Again, like in maths, they had this confusion that if I don't do one word problem in the class, the children will not be able to. So yes, you have that flexibility to do that one with the help of the children, not copying of course from the board, but let them do in the class, and 3 of the same kind can be given as homework. You have to go through the lesson plan also whether those questions might be discussed in the lesson plan. So you can focus on some other questions. Right? So when we read the lesson plan, you will find similar kind of questions are being discussed in the lesson plan. We are talking about similar kind of questions. We are talking about one higher order thinking skill question. We are talking about application based question and knowledge and understanding of course when we are doing discussion after the activity. So these are the 3 questions that children are required to do every day to build their understanding, application skills as well as higher order thinking skills. Right? Then if we open the content book, in the content book, after every chapter, practice questions are there that you can do on the practice day as well as along with the question, the lesson plan also. Now, one apprehension is that you just have 4 periods in a week. That is for all the subjects,
Yes,
right? But you have 50 minutes the period, right? 50 minutes period means if we talk about the learning plans, they are 25 minutes. So you have 15 additional minutes, but I take it as 10. Maybe 5 can be transaction time and everything. So if you have 10 minutes, what we can do is our 4th lesson plan or maybe 5th lesson plan that talks about more practice. So today I have taught LP1, I have taught them, I have done the workbook. If I have 10 extra minutes, the practice lesson plan based on particularly that lesson plan can be done in those 10 minutes. So like in maths and maybe other subjects also, 1 or 2 questions of practice questions or additional questions can be done in the class there and there, and maybe 2 can be given. The 2 similar questions can be given as homework. Right? So you have that benefit of having 50 minutes per period, so you can always incorporate that plan. And in the content book, you'll also find the project work. You can use those project work also, and also web links as we discussed. Web links to show in this smart classes.
Do we keep this workbook in the class or do we keep that?
Children are big enough, they can carry it every
They
day.
can carry, but generally they don't get home.
Monica ma'am, we can take it as a classwork notebook. If you feel that the content space is sufficient to write the answers, then this becomes their classwork notebook.
Yeah. But extra questions.
So that is carrying.
So see, they have to
But
carry
they will
this
not carry the content
no?
book then, na?
Volume 1 they have to carry. Once volume 1 will be over, then comes volume 2. So they have to carry 1 workbook per subject every day.
Else if you want, you can manage the space and you can keep it in the class.
Yeah.
The hassle would be every day you distribute.
Where is writing practice? Less of writing. How will children write? You study, you take building the writing skills, you take 5 to 6 periods for
Even
that.
grammar.
Even in the grammar. So let's talk about writing, how writing is done. So with each chapter, if you see, there is a writing guide.
When we say that when it makes a square, we get only
With an
rectangle.
activity of tiles, the square tiles. Okay, so let's keep this lesson plan in mind with some observations that you have in mind, and we will also be students. Alright, ready to be students? We'll explore a concept now by being a student. We follow a lesson plan, do an activity, discuss about that activity, and then try to find out which concept are we learning. Right? So how an exceed class goes. So if we read this 52,350 tons, what comes to your mind?
It's weight.
It's a weight of something. Right? And if this much of weight is put in water, what will happen?
That particular thing will sink.
It may or it may not, that will depend on how much water.
volume of water is present.
So if I say it is the weight of a shell. So what happens? It floats. 7.7 grams is again a weight. And it's the weight of a coin. What happens?
It will sink.
It sinks. Now we'll do some predictions. As you all said, that it depends. Right? There are different factors that depends whether the object is going to sink or float. We'll do some predictions today in sinking and floating. Right? So if somebody can help me. One each group. So, there is a page in your workbook. Page number 10. That says, write your predictions. Predictions in the first column. Name of the object that will float, that you think will float. Or name of the object that you think will sink. From these objects, you have to make your predictions first. And then we'll observe what will happen. Right?
This will flow.
And please include this watermelon also.
Watermelon also.
Sanjog sir, once again tell, this will float, this not float.
This stuff.
Okay, this is what we are.
This will float. You see, this will float, rest they will sink.
इसका तो surface area ही ज़्यादा.
Can you try? So now what you have to do is one member from each group can pick your what do you have to bridge? Yes.
This is a
Float.
I said
Sinking lemon.
Let's try.
It's floating.
floating.
Orange is floating.
Oranges floating.
And we said we are sure.
You know, when we make the predictions that these objects are going to sink, this vegetable fruit will sink, this will float. What was in the mind? Why did we predict this? I mean, just a question. कुछ predictions करते थे क्यों किया? By observing that object, the way past experience, bottle का sink हुई थी. So that's what. What was in the mind? That I said
I looked at the picture and found that all the objects which are supposed to float, they will have something, you know, hollow, some hollow thing inside. I couldn't find anything except the orange and the thing that you take all
So one question is that why were you so sure that watermelon will sink?
Because actually we didn't pick it up, you know, we just saw it so big and it might be very heavy, it will definitely sink.
No, I told you to come observe.
But we
pick it up, do
we had it
anything.
in our mind that it will definitely sink. So
We have it that it's
and we were so sure that we didn't feel the necessity of picking it up.
And then one question from sir, that why was he so sure that this will float?
I know because I had played one game that is dancing brinjal. So in that all the brinjals, you know, they float in water.
At home I saw and that was floating.
But that's how you were
That's
very
why I
sure.
was
That's why helping his life is what she's been ready to
What we always think is not going to be the way we have expected it to be.
We need to
Learning by doing.
Learning by doing.
Yeah.
But what was the purpose of this activity? What are we learning? What did we learn today?
What is the scientific reason of that? It is not going to sink.
Factors that affect floating and sinking. So one is of course weight. That at a point we see an object, दो जब वो बात हुआ था कि इतने टन्स हैं और इतने ग्राम्स हैं, सबका बहुत philosophical answer था. Depends. Like what is the surface area? What is this? What is that? But when it actually came to real life experience, real life objects, and it's not with like you people, it's with everyone. And when it comes to prediction in the real life context, real life examples, we just use, observation, and we don't use the skills that why this will happen. If we just float, I'm saying it will float, why will it float? So okay, one reason is I've seen it at home, but why is it floating? And then why is the watermelon floating?
Main reason is that whatever the weight or volume of water that particular object is displacing, that depend on that.
Yes, so that is one very prime factor, that why an object sinks or floats. So one is of course weight. Another you said is the surface area, right? What the water is, the object is displacing volume of water. Volume of water. Why the orange was floating, though the lemon sank? Can you think of some difference?
That is solid one, that's why. And having more weight,
Water that
whatever the volume of water that is displacing, that is less. And
Yeah, that is one. What else?
And it is, the lemon is quite dense.
Dense, the density of an object, like how dense it was. So there are various factors that affect the sinking and floating of an object. Clear? Now, the assessment. So the assessment is that I am giving a clay box to each group. You can use the quantity of clay you want from this box, and you have to make an object and make it float. Right? If you put the clay in the water, what will happen? It will sink. Right? So now we have to make this clay float. So how will you make it float?
We are making it hollow because of that.
Whatever floats.
this is learning from the experiences of others.
That's just try maybe for the efforts just.
Ma'am, like this, it will float?
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Ma'am, it will float.
It will float.
It will float, ma'am.
Definitely.
But only using that clay you cannot make the things.
It was like this, no? We can use
You have to
anything.
make the clay float.
The clay is only
Not the
floating.
You are not using only clay, na?
Clay is floating.
Let's try. Let's try.
Experienced from all this.
Very nice. Excellent.
We made it the first time.
Very good. Now he deserves a clap. Now he deserves a Finally, I was like thinking that मुझे ही float करना पड़ेगा. Finally.
Otherwise, we do all things.
This is what I thought about.
So the objective was to make the clay float, right? And keeping in mind the factors of sinking and floating was what my aim was actually for this activity. So that you know how the exceed class goes, how the children learn. And there are so many factors that have come out here only, and I have been observing. The first thing that started was the quality of play. What have you done with tea? What type of clay you have brought? And next time I will bring Right.
No, we had another option also available. So didn't take that one. Oh, we had tough ones also.
वो मतलब easily float हो जाते हैं वैसे.
And even if it is being disturbed also, it's not.
It's not sinking. So one is like, it's so easy to blame.
Yeah.
So easy to blame. If things do not happen our way, if what we want to do doesn't happen, ये कमी है, ये कमी है, ये कमी है, ये कमी. It's really easy to do instead of trying. Though I saw you people trying 4 times, 5 times, but then a point came where everybody left. Why did it happen?
Because that clay got, everything was into the dance. Actually, it was a good idea.
So there are so many more packets there were so many packets kept there. But then yes, it happens. It happens in the classroom also. Think of the students.
Successive failure.
Right. Think of the students who are not able to do. We try with them. Yes, we give them extra classes. We do a lot of hard work maybe. As we say, we do everything. Then a point comes when we say, कर ही नहीं सकता ये तो, हो ही नहीं सकता, इसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Right. So it so happens. So this is the learning for me right now from this activity. Though my aim was not this, but yes, I got these observations that this is what generally we also do in class, right? And then clay float हुआ था सबसे पहले वो transparent polybag के ऊपर. So that was again one thing that yes, I'll do anything but I'll make it float anyhow. So maybe if I have to put a transparent polybag and tell others not to focus on that. But yes, I have to do it, right? So I have to adapt. So I get the learning adaptation from here. That okay, I do little bit of my work also, but I'll adapt and succeed somehow. So we'll work together, right? And then finally it floated. So again, a very minute observation that he did was that I thought in mind that how in Haridwar those dongas are floating, and then everything has to be balanced. So whatever the volume is, whatever the density is, or whatever, it has to be balanced. So he applied the factor, right? Whereas हम कहाँ busy थे? सिर्फ clay तैरानी है. दिया इन्होंने बनाया था. The first thing that we made was दिया, but it's sand. Because only the thing in mind was that okay, one factor was there, hollow होना चाहिए, sink हो गया. Same somebody made strawberry. कि hollow होना चाहिए, अंदर से वो orange type का होगा, but it's sand. So it is not only one factor that affects. That gives the learning that it has to be balance of everything, right? Now the main objective was this only. So it's clear. Any apprehensions about this now? Now I will not ask you to make anything float. I pity Ruchi now.
In the morning, we were discussing here, and we were thinking, what are you going to do with the
Fruits and vegetables.
So she might need a knife. You should keep a knife for her.
Yeah, I saw that knife there. I think it so happens in all schools. And some of them are ready for a fruit chat. That we have a fruit chat party in between. There is a break of 15 minutes. Okay, that's so nice. So this is what we have observed and we have learned. What all did we do to learn now? If we have to learn a particular topic, if I as a teacher I am in class and as a student also if I am sitting in the class, what are the things need to be focused upon in our this session that we talk about the 5 A's, right? So for this, if you can just open page number 11 of the participant workbooks, which is talking about the 5A learning. It's not only about sinking or floating fruits and vegetables. What is my aim? Where do I want to achieve as a teacher? And what I want the students to learn in the class. What are their targets? The second step was action. We did the activity. We made predictions. Then we did it ourselves and we observed. Then the third part was analysis. We discussed why did it happen, why did it float, why did it sink, what were the reasons, why did you think so? So all whys and whats and hows in analysis. Then came application. What did we do for application? We tried making something from the clay that can float. And then the assessment. Finally, achieved. Finally achieved after a lot of practice. So this is what the lesson plans of Exceed are all comprised. The 5 A's. The aim, activity, analysis, application, and then assessment. These are the 5 things that we have to religiously follow in our classroom. Right? This is the teaching process, teaching learning process. So now if you look at the lesson plan of your own subject, whatever, any one lesson plan if you can open, if you want to. Otherwise, you can open the same factors lesson plan that we read few minutes back in the participant workbook. That's on page number 13. So there are 5 steps given on the top of this lesson plan also. That begins with aim. So what is the aim of this lesson plan? Find all the factors of a number. Action is to use those square rules. That's how we are going to do the activity. Analysis. Yeah, number of rows are factors of a particular number. That's what we are discussing with the students. So with the tiles, we are doing that activity. We are placing those tiles and how we are doing it, and then discussing with the students. It's not that teacher telling. So you have done the activity. Now my role as a facilitator is to ask questions. So why do you think this floats? So all answers are acceptable. So if he has seen it at home happening, that's really nice. If somebody says that we just looked and we had it in mind that it will sink. So all answers, all responses from students are acceptable. So whatever they think in mind. So that's what analysis is all about. So we do the activity and straight away.
We can have one thing, like you have said here, we can take a sunshine wheel and take out all the children, what they are saying on the board. And that is really motivating for the children also, that they are getting, their things are acceptable on the board.
Yeah, that's what we did. So you were not there in the activity actually. That's what we did in the class. So we are asking questions, children are giving us replies, we are writing it on the board and then collaborating it as answers. So whatever worksheet is saying, whatever lesson plan is saying, the activity is based on the concept clarity of the students. So with such activities, maybe students who are little slow in learning, who are not so attentive in the class otherwise, who take time to grasp concepts when it comes to explanation, might get a gist that what are we doing, what are we talking about, by hands-on experiences when they do this. So this is how the activities play a big role. But after this activity, the analysis is very, very important. If I would have asked you to sink or float these fruits and vegetables and then asked you to keep it aside and then moved to the next section, so you would have thought, what is happening? Why are we doing this? I mean, what is the sense of this? So until and unless we discuss why, how did it happen, why do you think so, questioning the children and getting the answers from them and then reaching to a conclusion would really help in the clarity of the concept. Right? After analysis, for whatever new again, whatever I have learned, now I have to reapply it in a new way, right? So it's not necessary that if it might be like in subject like maths, you might need more approach to do one sum, similar kind of sum, and then children doing another questions of that sort. But if my concept is clear as a student, so if I know now what will float and what will sink, I might do it in a new approach. So if I am asked to make an object and make it float, I will put all my effort in that and try doing it, putting all. And if I see that no, they are not able to do that, means I have to prompt them that let's focus, let's see this, let's try making this. I mean whatever, let's try this question out like that. So if the concept is clear, even if the question is not similar to what I have learned in the class, but has the concept, I will be able to do. It might take some time as a student, but yes, at least the concept is clear. Right? If I can describe, if I know how to use adjectives, if suppose in the class I have talked about Taj Mahal and I have described Taj Mahal using different adjectives. So if as a student I am asked to describe something else, I will be able to do it. Right? So that's how it will. And then again, to some particular questions where you feel that no, until and unless we do a similar question in the class, children would not pick it. So I am a best judge of my class. What are the requirements of my classroom, of my students? It's not that yes, every time this philosophy will work. Maybe with some concepts, I have to first do it in the classroom. Then only I can expect my children to do 10 more of that kind. I'm free to do that. Right? So, of course, more focus on skills, clearing the concept, developing the skills, and if required, yes, doing the same thing in the classroom. Clear? Any questions? After application comes the assessment. So application, in the application we have done the workbooks, we have done the notebook work, practice questions, additional practice questions, and then for assessing we can check for comprehension from the students, asking lot of questions in the class. Assessment is not always about taking a test. So there is a block assessment at the end of the block, but I need to do the daily assessment also of my class. So if I'm teaching, so I need to check also whether my students have got what I came to deliver or not. So I can keep on asking lot of questions, give everybody chance, because generally in classroom it happens the children who speak more will always give the answer. Right? Or who are really smart, who grasp the things very quickly. So we need to chalk out a plan where I can make most of my children speak. Yeah? Maybe with little prompting, little support, but yes, they have to speak. So that I know as a teacher whether this child who is not so quick in grasping has the concept reached to that child or not. So I cannot ignore those children. Right? And when we look at the lesson plan, in the application part, you see there are differentiation tips given for the teacher. So maybe those who need some extra help, slow learners, what extra, or those who need extra challenge. Like there is a child who would do everything in a jiffy and then disturb the others. So I have something for them also ready. Such kind of children. Okay, you have done this, now you start doing this. Trying to solve this question. So that the others who need more support from my side, I can focus on and not get distracted with so-called naughty children which अपना काम खत्म कर लेते हैं और फिर पूरी क्लास को डिस्टर्ब करते रहते हैं. So we have differentiation tips for teachers also. So for slow learners, lead attention जिनका होता है, and for also extra challenge, those who require extra challenge. Then when we are doing the analysis part, discussion part, that is also divided into 3 parts. So one is like activity discussion. If you look into the analysis part, one is activity discussion. So whatever we have done in the activity, we'll discuss, we have questions for that. So why did you do this? What have you done? What do you think? What have you observed? That kind of questions. Then from those questions, taking the responses from children, we move to generalized discussion, where we build in the concept. So we did this. This is what you have observed. So this means these are the factors that affect sinking and floating. So we come to a general discussion where we start talking about the concept, that why are we doing all this? And then the phase comes when we talk about the higher order thinking skills. So there will be a question related to the concept कि अगर ऐसा होता तो क्या होता? So let the children, and all answers will be different as per the thinking level of the students. So then there will be a higher order thinking discussion. So each lesson plan, the analysis comprises of 3 parts: activity discussion, generalized discussion, and then HOTS. So every lesson plan, every subject, every day children are learning 4 subjects, 4 core subjects. Every day they are doing 4 higher order thinking skills questions. So imagine how their thinking ability, how their reasoning skills will improve day by day. So it can take a month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe 6 months. But yes, with every day there will be an improvement if they religiously and regularly do it in the classroom. Yeah? So it will be like from A to B, then C, then D. I mean, you can't say Z after A. You have to go A, B, C, D, E to reach Z. Right? So for coming up on the first floor, we have to step on every step. So it will be like that. It will take time, but believe me, it will happen in the classrooms. So it is not a magic mind कि first day क्योंकि बोला एक सीखने में हो जाएगा तो एक दिन में हो जाएगा. It's all your efforts. You are the teachers, you are the facilitators. It's you who will make it happen. It's not me that is. Even if I talk about 1800 schools, it's not Exceed that is doing it. It's you people who are. It's all about you people, how you are implementing it. Providing is very easy. We come, we give you the books, we come, we give you the training, and we have been doing every day for long hours. So that's okay. But until and unless you do it in the classroom, it will not happen. It will actually not happen. Oh, everything is on you. So you are running Exceed, not me. Right? So that's up to you how you implement it, how better learning you want in your classrooms. Right? So this is all about the lesson plans that happen. Then if you see the assessment part, right? The block assessment. So these are the rubrics that are given in each worksheet. So once all the 4 worksheets are done, and then block assessment is also done, you need to fill this block assessment report, yeah? Which is CCE compliant. So CCE में भी होता है, rubrics होते हैं, and accordingly we have to mark the students. So here also we have given the rubrics, the concept-based rubrics, and also skill-based rubrics. So what concept I am teaching to the students? Where to find it? And now my marking will be approaching, meeting, or exceeding. It is in AME format, right? So approaching, if my child has tried, if the student is trying to get that concept in the worksheets, in the block assessment, he has tried to attempt, and somewhat the concept is clear and the skill is also reached, so the child is approaching. Meeting is that whatever I wanted to teach my child, the concept is entirely clear. The skill that I wanted to develop through that concept is there in the children, so the children are meeting. And exceeding is if something extra is really happening in the classrooms with the students, right? So the child is going one step forward. The pod speak बहुत अच्छे से answer दिया है, what was expected. वो स्किल भी एक एडिशनल स्किल बिल्ड हुआ है उसके अंदर, then the child is exceeding. So the bare minimum expectation for children is meeting at least.
Right.
At least whatever we are there for in the class, they know it. Right? So if I'm teaching the concept, they know that concept. They know how to divide. And then where is division used in the daily life? Well, the skill of division, where can I apply? The child can apply that skill also. Then bare minimum expectation is needed. At least the children should be there.
I have a query here.
Yeah.
We do this block assessment report. I'm talking about the assessment part. We do the block assessment report. We put tick marks in the relevant columns. We will send it to the parents to see, they'll sign it. This is what I thought of. Now, how will we put this into their report cards? Like you were told that you have your own report card format, wherein these all rubrics would be converted. You give that learnometer and all. So means my query is that what block assessment report we have put in here, do we need to maintain a record of it somewhere else? A hard means like we have our own mark list. Like we take a test and we write so and so got roll number 1 this much this much. So do we need to have a record of this somewhere? Because if this has to go into that report card, will it go in the report card? Am I right?
If you are considering it as your assessments,
No,
and
according
weekly
to
tests,
your
yeah.
report card, the learnometer which we get, according to that, this block report
Learnometer is something different. This block assessment is something different.
No, I'm talking about the report card which
That is CCE calculator.
She wants to know that this.
How will it, first thing is, will it form a part of that report card? This block assessment.
Okay. So I'm just trying to tell you that only. So when we are talking of learnometer, we provide report cards for learnometer.
What is learnometer exactly?
So I'll come to that. So learnometer is something different. Let's forget about learnometer right now. Okay? Learnometer we'll do after this.
Okay.
So let's forget about
These assessments, what are here,
we'll go into
reflect in the report.
That's what I'm now going to address. So you have your weekly tests otherwise?
Yeah,
Right?
otherwise we have
You have your
UT1, half yearly, UT2, annual.
annual. You have like that your unit test. So for those unit tests, you give the marks.
Yeah, we have a proper pen paper test.
For pen paper test and you give them the marks, and those marks are maintained in documented somewhere, right?
We have recorded.
So similarly, in place of unit test, if I consider this as my unit test, right? So this block assessment, maybe I'm taking it weekly, or maybe I take it as fortnightly. I consider it as my unit test, and I mark my children as A, M, and E, right? So this you'll get a CCE calculator. So you have to put for each child, of course, you have to maintain a record. Otherwise, like you're maintaining record for your unit test also.
Yes, means
Right?
we have a hard copy thing that so and so child got A, he
or
got
M.
M, he got E. So it will be maintained in this way only, A, M, E.
Yes. Then once you are going to compile it for the report card, in that CCE calculator, so whatever blocks are there, you will mention like block, it will be like block 1, block 2, block 3, like that it looks. And you will be writing for each child, suppose she said Suman, so in block 1 she was A, in block 2 she was M, in block 3 she was again M, in block 4 she might reach to block E. So that will be put in that CCE calculator, and already the formulas and everything are there. That will automatically convert into marks as well as percentage. Right? So you get the marks or percentage or whatever is required to put it into a report. So this is how CCE calculator works for block assess. Right? Any questions?
This is software which you will provide.
We will provide you the CCE calculator. But
It will
yes,
be converted into marks
Marks, percentage.
and percentage. This would be a software which will be given.
we'll be giving. We'll be sending you that CCE calculator and then you get.
Okay. And another thing, like these all 30 blocks, is it like all the blocks will be going into the assessment? Means will they all be formed a part of the formative assessments? Means what is your call onto this? Like we have UTs,
Yeah.
but again that day we had this discussion that UTs also, block assessments also, it would be too much of a thing.
So why you have to select? See whether
So if we take off UTs,
continue
so
with
it
these
is like we take up all these blocks and we categorize them as like block 1 to let's say block 8.
In
It
UT1?
makes UT1, FA1.
FA1, right?
Then block 9 to let's say 15, it makes you FA2. Now my question is like, can we omit any of the block like where if it, like I told you, divisibility, it's too easy a concept. Can we omit it for assessment? Means we take this block
Evaluation. You don't want to put it into marking.
Yeah, means like we have taken the block assessment report, but we don't include it as a part of our.
That's the whole point. That's the. If you have taken block assessment for 6 blocks, right? But you want to mark the children in the report card only for specific 4 blocks.
Or like some of the schools have it best 4 out of 6.
Best 4 out
best
of
of
6. You put the marks in the CC calculator accordingly and get the result. Right? Yeah, you can go like that. And generally schools do that. They conduct 4 UTs and they pick up
Best of 3
3
and all.
best 3. This is clear? Block assessment,
Yeah.
CC calculator.
And block assessment we can add our own questions as well. It's a suggestive thing and plus whatever extra.
If
we
you
have.
want to add more, you want to change the questions. Then comes the learnometer that she was discussing. So learnometer is a skill-based test, right? It is not skills that the students are having. It is nothing subjective, right? And it will be conducted twice in a year. So one will be somewhere in the August 10th, and the second is in December. For that, our question papers come like you do Olympiads in school for different subjects. It is an integrated Olympiad that will have language skills, will have reasoning skills, will have science and mathematical, analytical skills. Do it. So it is like objective type of questions. They will do. They will mark it in OMR sheet, and then those will be picked from by us, and we will be analyzing those tests and sending you the report cards for that. So one will be student report card, where we analyze that in particular skill, how the child has performed, again approaching, meeting and exceeding format, and then wherever the child is approaching, what is the action plan to work on it. So that report cards goes to parents. So they can also see that yes, this skill needs a little development, so they can also work on it. Then you get your class assessment report also. Suppose you are the teacher of grade 5, so you will get grade 5 ka report card all together, all the students. Suppose you have 40 students, so what is the average of children in your class for each skill? Suppose in English, language skills, whatever, wherever your class is, what percentage it is getting in comparison to other grades or other sections of your class. So grade 5, A, B, C. So 5A teacher will have, B will have, C will have, and then you can just also go through each other's that where we are lacking. So suppose math skills are not, so you can talk to math teachers that my class is little lacking in these skills. They can focus more on those skills. Go so on and so forth. So this is the report card that we provide twice a year.
One question. That is the Learnometer Olympiads which you will be conducting. So that will be from, for example, for class 7. So it will be from the syllabus class 7, or it's like.
It is a skill-based test.
Okay, so
It doesn't talk about the syllabus. Yeah, it is a skill-based test. So of course, whatever the students would have acquired till then, it will talk about that. So in grade 7th, we can't ask skills of grade 9 or 10, right? So it will be according to the level of the students, but nothing to do with the syllabus. Yeah. So clear what is the learnometer and what is the CC 5A classroom. So what are the 5 A's in a learning cycle that we have done right now? Starts with aim, action, analysis, application and assessment. Now I have got these 5 A's. Now I have to ensure that I implement them in my class. So how will I do that? Let's give a thought. How will I implement my 5 A's in the class? What am I supposed to do if I have to really implement these in my class? What will I look for? I know these are the 5 A's. I have to plan. I have a planned aim. I have a planned activity. Analysis questions. Application is there. Workbook, everything. Assessment is there. But how will I ensure that whatever I am doing is like reaching the children?
Of the previous questions. We check the previous knowledge.
We check the previous knowledge. We take feedbacks from the students. Okay. What kind of feedbacks?
Whether they've understood the
So, have you understood?
No.
Yes,
Specific questions.
Specific questions we ask them in the class to check their understanding. How do we know whether the aim is clear to the student? Like if my aim has reached the student, then only learning outcome will be there. Do we ever focus on that?
Through the questions only we can give out some
Only through the questions. That is generally we do in the class. Like in the end, to comprehend that yes, let's ask few questions from few of the students. Of course, we will not be able to ask all 40 students, but yes, let's ask few students to check whether the
We
topic
summarize
is
or recapitulate the entire session what we have taught.
And we call these things in the classroom, whatever we do, we call them classroom practices. That these are the teaching practices that happen in the class. So after the research, after seeing so many classrooms, few key practices have been identified